Welcome to the Cosmic Buster. My name is Bobby Cody. This is a video I've been contemplating doing for a long time, and I try to shy away from videos that focus on my personal life, but inevitably, the two intertwine, the subject matter and my personal life. They inevitably intertwine, and this is one I've wanted to do for a long time. It's going to be, I've written two memoirs. I've done a video on that a long time ago. I'm planning a third memoir to talk about the last few years, which have been pretty mind-blowing. And this one thing that happened, it's just insane. And I'd be interested to hear what an environmental scientist or a natural scientist had to say about it. I'll tell you about this. It's pretty fascinating once I tell you this story. I have to set a background for it as well. So I'll start with I've been homeless since 2017. I sleep outside for most of that time. There have been a couple incidents. Initially, the first winter 2017-18, a pretty young 21-year-old girl saw me in a train station, said, "What's your deal?" And said, "Hey, homeless, child support. Child support makes me homeless. Takes 66% of my income. So, as a matter of fact, if you want to tip me down below, I have a PayPal. If you want to help out, today's my birthday." I said, I'm homeless because of child support. She said, "Well, if you want to live with me, you can." I'm like, pretty young 21-year-old wants me to live with her? Sure. But it wasn't anything like anything that I thought it was going to be. I thought it was me, No. She collected homeless people. It was quite the scene once I got there. But that's for the memoir. Eventually, I left there because I couldn't put up with it anymore. It was kind of insane. So I went back to being homeless, and we could no longer stay in the train station. The fact that I had left, I kind of took control of the train station in a lot of ways as a homeless guy, because I used to sleep in the lobby, and if you're responsible and you're not stupid, they're not going to bother you. They're going to let you sleep overnight in the lobby as long as you don't cause any trouble. Certain homeless people could cause trouble, so I would kind of try to keep things under control. And the people who I knew would get us kicked out of there, I just would find a way to not have them stay there. I'll put it that way. You can read it in the memoir later. But once I was gone with this girl and moved into this girl for a few months, things went crazy, absolutely nuts. So by the time I was back out on the streets, I moved back out onto the streets and not living with this girl any longer. They had completely shut down the train station. You could no longer sleep there. There's a chai guy, Ricardo, who opened a coffee station and a chai station in the lobby, said, when I came back out, he said, "I was thinking if you were here, this never would have happened. You never would have let this happen." I said, "Yeah, I never would have. As soon as it happened, as soon as I left." Yep, no question. So, couldn't sleep there anymore. So I didn't know where to sleep. But since it was the summer at this point, this is now the summer of 2018. Back out on the streets. It was nice. I'm thinking, like, why don't I just sleep? There was this one location right by, it's in the Glen. In the back of a big park, there's a glen with a stream, and I go down. I've shot a few videos there. In fact, I'll throw up a couple photos over here so you can get a sense. Maybe even throw a card to the video so you can see the place if you want. but it was deep in a glen, so it was real in the back of a park, deep in the glen. It's wilderness essentially, um, and it's right by the stream, and it's got a clearing, so it's perfect. So I'm like, I'm gonna sleep here overnight. It's just nice, the creek, the water flowing. Oh, just fall right asleep. So I didn't have a tent or anything. I was just, I carried my guitar, I had my book bag, and I used to have a roll. It was just a blanket. Was it a sleeping bag? I don't even know if I had a sleeping bag at that point. I know for a period I didn't have a sleeping bag. I don't think I did at this time. I think it was just 2 blankets that I used. So I had no problem the first night. Slept like a baby, no issues. The second night, I go to bed. I think it was 11 o'clock. I go to bed. No problem. Around about 2 a.m., I wake up. Now, it's a dark, dark night. No moon. No moon whatsoever. The moon would normally shine right, there's trees all over the place, but moon, as one of my videos actually shows this, there's a little circle of sky that you can see, and the moon would frequently shine right through that circle of sky. Wasn't there, and the reason it was there, because there was no moon this night. This was a 0 moon night, the opposite of a full moon. So it was just dark, pitch black in the forest. I couldn't see I could barely see my hand in front of me. I mean, that's how dark it was. It was just really dark. No big deal. I didn't think, hey, this is Montclair, New Jersey, dense suburb. I mean, even if this is a park in the wilderness, what's back? I know there are foxes back there. I'm not really worried about a fox, although there was a rabid fox at one point. That's another story that'll be in the memoir. It made the newspaper too. If you search Glen Ridge rabid fox, you'll see at least the newspaper story about it. So the second night, 1 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, pitch black, just absolutely pitch black. It's scary, and the reason it's scary is because of what woke me up. Normally at night in the woods, it's very quiet, crickets, maybe a bird or two, occasionally, but it's very, very quiet in the wilderness, out in the woods. I woke up because everything was going nuts. Insects, birds, animals I didn't know existed. The whole wilderness was all just loud and screaming, and I'm like, what the hell? It's completely pitch black. I can't see anything. Insects are going nuts. Birds are going nuts. And I don't know what's going on, but I instinctively know what they're all saying. They're all going, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. There's no question. They don't speak English. But there is absolutely no getting over what every single insect, bird, and every single piece of nature out here was screaming to me. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. It's pitch black. I'm laying there in my blanket, my guitar, my book bag to my left, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't scare easy, I've specifically always sought to overcome my fears. I've had fears before, I overcome them, public speaking, okay, I'm going to be a teacher, I was scared to death. I've never been that scared in my life. They're all screaming, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. So I'm laying there in bed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So they're just still all screaming, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes, every bird, every insect, probably foxes too, deer, especially the deer, because then I hear these little like feet. I hear them, and these noises, it sounded kind of like pups or kittens. There were definitely multiple feet, like definitely hear them. And I'm like, all right, those are like kittens. So that means there's probably a mom of whatever that is. And then all of a sudden, okay, here. Holy shit. I jumped up. I ran 300-400 yards to the top of the glen into the park. I never run so fast in my life. I've never been so scared. It was unreal. Left my guitar, left my book bag, everything. Boom. Now, this is Montclair, New Jersey. This is 8 miles, actually, I think it is, outside of New York City, outside of Manhattan. It's pretty dense suburbs. We're not supposed to have mountain lions. I'm pretty certain that was a mountain lion. I maybe a bobcat. There was actually on the Active Self-Protection YouTube channel just today, they had a bobcat attack. And so I was like, oh, wow, I've been planning this video for a while. And I don't know if it was a bobcat or a mountain lion that was that night. So I watched the Active Self-Protection video, which I'll post up here. And hearing the bobcat, I'm almost positive now at this point that it wasn't a bobcat that was out that night. I'm pretty certain it was a mountain lion. New Jersey has had mountain lion sightings in Sussex County, which is the northwest. It's probably, that's probably 20, 30 miles north and west of me, more towards the Appalachian Mountains, where you would expect the mountain lions more. But Montclair is the first Watchung Mountain, so it is a part of the Appalachian chain. And I'll be honest with you, I'm certain it was a mountain lion. I don't think what else it could be that could make that noise. And one of the reasons why its kits sounded like puppies, I think, is a matter of size, because a mountain lion's kittens are going to be about puppy size, so they'll be in the puppy range, their vocalizations, which is why at first I was kind of like, is this puppies? Wow, that was just incredible though. Needless to say, I never slept out there again without a tent. You'll see later, I've done some videos on here where you see my tent. My tent wasn't in that location. I had my tent near there, about a couple hundred yards from there, deeper into the wilderness. But yeah, wow, that was frightening though. And I'll tell you what happened too, so now I'm in the park, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I got my guitar, I still have my guitar, my book bag, and my blanket down there, and I'm not leaving them there. So I gotta go back. So I'm sitting, all right, I'm pretty certain the mountain lion, whatever it is gone, but I don't know that. And I just assume because they're smart enough to be afraid of humans, you know what I mean? They're not. Once that I started running, it probably said human, and it ran too. And got its out of there. But I still didn't know that. So, but I couldn't leave my guitar there, so I had to go back. And I wasn't waiting until daylight. This is my guitar, my love. I don't leave it anywhere. So what I did was I got a long log. They had cleared a lot of brush, and they had a huge pile of lumber. in the park there. So I went there and I got a long spear-like um, um, stick. I made sure it was real sharp on one end, and that was going to be, in case I confronted this fucker down there to protect myself. And then I brought a whole bunch of rocks too, just as first initially just to scare it away, know it I was there, let it know that I was throwing bombs at it, and then eventually slowly work my way to my stuff in that manner. That's what I did. I'd like walk 20 or 30 feet, throw rocks, walk another 20 or 30 feet or down the next level of the path, throw more rocks, because remember, I can't see much, there's no light. No, actually, at this point, no, I think they didn't have the lights there. Yeah, so it's still dark and scary as shit. So finally, I got down there. I just put my guitar on, my book bag, rolled up my blanket, and I got the hell out of there. And as I stated, I never slept there again until I had a tent, and that's another few stories that are very interesting and fascinating. So, but that's it. Never would have thought that there were mountain lions in Montclair. I think that what it was doing is that it knew it was no moon, it was very dark, and it was showing its kittens the boundaries of its empire and its territory, because I'm certain these things are passed down from parent to kid, and even though in the past 20, 30, 40 years development has grown a lot, this is still mountain lion territory. Now, here's what I've said at the beginning. I'd want to see what environmental scientists or naturalists or whether somebody who studies this for a living, I would want to hear what they had to say. I'd want to hear what they had to say about what that was. I'm pretty certain it was a mountain lion based on what I heard. Didn't see anything. The other thing is the vocalizations of all those animals. I didn't know that nature would react in that way, and I'd love to hear because it was bizarre. It was almost like supernatural. That's why it was so freaky. It's pitch black out there, and every single insect and bird and all of them are going nuts, and I know they're going, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. It takes on another level entirely. Do you know what I mean? It was, to me, it was almost, like what's gonna come out, some demon from hell or something. That's what it seemed like. But that's why I'd be interested to have somebody from a knowledgeable background in the environmental scientists to tell me, yes, there'll be this alert system, and if you can see this in nature where all the animals start to go crazy when the predator comes in, they warn each other. It was just, that happens, I know, but I've been in the woods all my life, and I never experienced anything like that. It was crazy. So thanks for watching. If you're interested, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you want to help out, I'd much appreciated. I got my PayPal down below. Doing a lot more videos. I'm actually going to do, I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and I'm actually going to, and I haven't been able to. I've had no internet. I'm here in a homeless shelter that they gave us homeless people for the pandemic. And we had no internet for 3 weeks, so I haven't been able to do anything. I finally have internet again. So I'm planning on a new video. Hopefully I'm going to have it up tomorrow. I'm going to call it probably Disclosure 2021. I'm going to sum up, essentially, because not just disclosure, but the whole UFO phenomenon. And um, what other people are saying about it. Dick Algier, he has a crypto viewing YouTube channel. I'll throw up a card to him. He's one of the inspirations for me finally getting this done. Love his channel. He's a great person. I love his work in totality. He put up a kind of a summation today of objective reality, which I've come to the exact same. I'll put that up here so you can click on it. But what he says here throughout his video is exactly what I've found to be almost certainly true. And it involves UFOs and ETs, etc. But I'm not going to talk about what I found or from that level. What I'm going to do with my Disclosure 2021 video that I'm planning on doing is I want to look at what other people are saying and other perspectives on this, and maybe all the different viewpoints and how we can manage getting through the chaos that may be coming once, if disclosure happens and people start talking about this and what's real and what's not real, because it's going to be pretty nuts. And I'll end my video the way Dick ended his. It's going to be crazy, so just keep your wits about you. Thanks for watching.